good evening. Good evening and happy Sunday. I was going to tell you what the date was, but I can't even remember. 9th, I think. 9th of June. Goodness me. Lovely to have your company, and as always, very much appreciated. As I said last week, I thought we would do two. This was sort of like Man's Week. So we had the lovely Cars and Dream Car collection from Sue Wilson on Wednesday. I'm desperately trying to get hold of some more of that. So watch this space if you are still interested. I will know tomorrow whether I'll be able to get that. So watch this space. In the meantime, as I promised on Wednesday, something completely different, which is from Hunky Dory, and it is the Suits, Cardigans and Shirts collection. So, or stylish suits and woolly cardigans. That doesn't make it sound quite as nice as it really is, to be honest with you. Two things. So you have a set of dies. There are 11 dies in the set altogether, and they got stuck. They will make you either a very posh suit card or cardigans. Inside, you will find the instructions to do said two things, which is woolly cardigan die, that side, and stylish suit card, that side. Of course, I'm going to show you something a little bit different as well. So they're really good because they're pretty clear instructions, and it's nice to have the instructions there all the time as well. I've laid out the dies here to explain them to you, but first of all, I will come back to that. I will also show you this lovely 48 page double-sided, I think. Yeah, double-sided. I have to think about that. Paper pad. It's an 8-inch paper pad. You have got 6 suits, 6 woolly cardies, and 12 for the shirts. And what you'll see what I mean when I open it. So you have got things like this checked, spotty, that's for the shirts here. You've got pinstripe blue and a nice little, it goes together really well. Nice little bit there. You've got a nice, I was going to say Harris tweed. That's not Harris tweed. I'm not very good with materials. I'm not quite sure if you can see it, but it's sort of as if it's material. It's very, very cleverly done, and all sorts of things. These are the woolly things. Again, really stylish pattern. I have to say, it looks as if it is just, there you can see it a bit better. It does really, in real life, look very jumper-like. So it sort of fits into more than one occasion. And I have made 2 cards to show you. One is with the jumper, so the cardigan. So again, very sort of basic look to it. I'll show you how to cut this out in a second, but you have got all of the bits and pieces that gives you that sort of little finished cardigan effect. I'm trying to shine it to the light so that you can see it, plus a little pocket, plus your shirt with your buttons. And yeah, just this is a 5x7 card blank. The dies make a 6x4 comfortably shirt front, so or suit front. So that's the size that I'm going to go for, but I just wanted to put it on here to show you that it's quite simple to put it onto a 5x7 as well. And this one is the suit. So this one is a bit different. Now, not my idea. I saw this being demonstrated, and it's a little bit something similar that I've done, but with a bit of a twist. But you can see that it is the grey linen suit, I think you'd call that, with a pocket, with also like a little breast pocket, which has got the little handkerchief type of thing, and the suit with the tie and the little collars. And the twist is that this is actually a pocket. And then this comes out. This is especially for Gary. I'm sure Gary's not watching, but just in case he is, Gary retired on Friday, I think it was, or Thursday, can't remember. So happy retirement, Gary. This one's for you. And that just is a little card that is what they would take out. And this is just the pocket in which to hold it. Of course, you would like them to be putting sort of a few £20 notes in there, would you not? But it also equally, because I've put retirement on the card, it could make it for anybody and everybody. Okay, so that's just 2 styles. There are loads, and I'm going to show you how to make this one though in particular, and if I get chance, a very quick how to do the cardigan style instead. So having a look through my paper pad, I'm going to go for pinstriped on this one. So I'm going to take a sheet of the pinstriped pattern. So you can see that is the sort of navy blue. Has got a pattern on the other side. Won't be using that in this case because for the tie, I've pinched a bit of scrap that I had from doing the grey suits, because if you look on the grey suits, you've got like a little slightly lighter blue, but quite a nice blue for the tie. So I'm going to do the same tie as I had, but a different suit. So that's just one sheet that I need for this. Pop that to one side. As I said, 48 bits and pieces, and also sort of could be feminine because you've got some sort of pink bits and pieces as well. Very, very nice. Like that a lot. So then, as I said, we have got our dies. Let's just have a look at this set. So there's 11 altogether, and you have got a tie, and with that a tie knot. So that goes the 2 together. We've got a breast pocket and a, what do they call that now? Breast pocket and just a pocket. I was going to say that and then I thought I got it wrong. So that's classed as the breast pocket. And it's got, like, as I said, a little slit in it. Not sure if you can see that. Little slit which would take your handkerchief. Then you've got 2 collars which also double as being your handkerchief. You've got a little bow tie for the man that's got everything, including a bow tie. You've got the 2 side pieces, which are for your ribbed sort of edges of your jumpers and cardigans. And then you've got the main bit here, which is the centerpiece, basically. And this is your main die. It doesn't look much, does it? But it's really very cleverly designed. And then also, lastly, but no means least, 3-in-1 little buttons. So they're little tiny buttons that, again, just go in nicely. Okay, so again, pop all of that to one side and let's just make our card base for this first. So because I'm using that pinstriped, I'm going to go with a piece of dark denim card. So that's sort of like a dark blue. I thought that went right quite nicely. And I need to cut myself out a piece which is 7 inches. Yeah, I've gone for inches. 7 inches by 6 1/4 inches. So 6 1/4 inches. Okay, so 7 inches by 6 1/4 inches. So let's just, I need to get another cutter on there. So along my 7-inch side, I think. Hold on a minute. Let me think. Yeah, along my 7-inch side. I thought I'd got that right. I am going to be not cutting anything. I'm going to be measuring, scoring at 1 centimetre all the way round. Why is that not looking quite right? Because it's that way. It's along the short edge. Don't do as I do as I say. Yeah, 3 sides I need to do. So the 2 long sides and a short side needs to be scored, all of them at 1 inch. Sorry, June, if you're listening, got that wrong, but I've got it right now. So hopefully you can see that you have just scored that, but not at the top. So this one isn't scored, but those are. Then I'm going to remove these corner squares here because I don't want those. We're not making a box, we're making a pocket. So I want it to be without any bulk on these pieces here. So I'm just going to remove those pieces. like so. Don't want them. Then I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to nice and crisply, really crisply, score along, burnish along all these score lines. So that's really nice and sharp. Like that. And then I'm going to make this into a pocket. Now the pocket is not going to be seen from this part of it. It's not going to be seen as such. And so I have found that the best way to finish this off is to fold the side ones in first. I'll explain why in just a second. Fold the side ones in first and then stick the bottom one, the bottom flap up, and stick it onto these two corners here. So when I use my glue gun, you'll see what I mean. I'm going to put glue into this bottom corner and then glue into this bottom corner. You could have used tape or whatever. And then I'm going to fold that up and stick that down and hold on to it for a second. I'll explain, as I said, why I'm going to do such a thing in just a second. Just so, hold on to it. Okay, so it's now giving you kind of like half a pocket, if you can see what I mean there. Just half a pocket. You have not got the front, but we're going to be making the front all as well. So I'm going to pop that to one side. Again, show you in a minute why we did it quite like that. Then I'm going to grab my paper. So this is for a piece of the suit paper. And I'm going to cut myself a piece of paper that is 6 by 4 1/4. So we'll go 4 1/4 down that way. And then turn that round, go in the way with the stripes, okay? And then 6 going round that side. Now I am keeping all these little bits of paper because, as I said, when you look at the back of them, or even the front, you could make a tie out of that sort of shape, piece of scrap of paper, or pockets or anything. And I think that looks quite nice as well. And I'm going to use that in a minute to cut out my handkerchief. I think the handkerchief will look quite nice out of that. So keep that to one side. So 6 by 4 1/4. I'm going to take my main die, which is this one. I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to pop that edge to edge. So I've got that sitting right at the edge, and that one just hangs over a little bit. Okay. Now, if you are particularly clever, shall we say, that wasn't quite the word, but if you wanted to make it slightly longer, because you could make it into a 5 by 7-ish, you could then extend it down the bottom here, and you might need to trim it just a little bit extra to make that extra room. But this bit needs to be up at the top, so wherever it is. Now, because I've got stripes, I can easily make sure that that's nice and straight. I'll put that right down the middle of a line, and I will pop that into place. Now, because I've got a bigger plate, I'm going to at the same time take these two pieces and cut them out for my handkerchief. So that's all ready to go. Then with another piece of this, so I've still got plenty here, I'm then going to grab my little pocket and the little breast pocket as well. So I'm going to do all of them. Needs to go around the same way, doesn't it? So do all of them at the same time, because I'm using it on an A4. Crash bang on it. Using it on an A4 piece. So I'm going to turn that over. This one will look funny because it's round the other way, using the wrong side of it. And then that piece as well. Pop that in. and just go through. Now we don't need, I have already cut out the tie and I will use the buttons, but these two pieces and the bow we don't need for this one. We just need one more thing cut, which is from a little piece of ordinary white card. I need to cut the collars of my shirt, which is going to be a plain one inside. So the paper is, I think, about 160 GSM. So quite a decent weight and easy enough to be able to work with. And if you see, you've got that little serrated edge there, and that just works nicely with your breast pocket. So works really, really well. Okay, take all that off, pop them over there. Here's my two bits for my handkerchiefs. So that's those pieces. And then take off my actual suit front. Put that over there a second. So when we remove this, carefully remove your tape, you will see that it has chopped your piece of paper in half, like so, but you might well be attached just at the top, which is absolutely fine and just needs trimming so that this piece is waste here. Now, when you look at it like that, you'll see that it's not quite as you expected, possibly, because if I was to then peel, sort of lie this lapel over, it would be showing that on it. And the suit doesn't look like that, does it? That's the actual shirt. So you may or may not be able to see this, but there is a line which has now been as a score line down here. I think you might be able to see it. And I'm just going to trim along that line from edge to edge. So that's that side. And then I'm going to do exactly the same here. So I'm just going along that score line like that. And then you'll find that that lapel becomes the right one to go over there. And then that one is the right one to go over there. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue onto here and pop that into place. I'm going to measure it right to the top, come along this straight line. I need to make sure I've got glue at the very, very tip so that that stays stuck. And then likewise over here. And then that goes into place there. So you can see that you've got your sort of suit going on. Okay. Now, when it comes to our pocket, we've got sort of two ways of doing it, but I'm going to stick these two together. So stick those one over the top of each other so that they will just be poking out from my breast pocket like so. So I've just stuck those together, and once they are stuck, I will then trim that, because obviously we're only going to be showing just that little bit that comes out there. So I just trim that down, and then I can put that up on the top. So there's quite a few little bits and pieces, different ways that you can do this. But I think that you'll agree that it's a really nice way of doing all this. I think it works really, really well. There's my pocket. I'm going to pop that down on that side there. but I'm going to put a little bit of foam behind it. So that gives a little bit of a, you know what? I think I might put those bits on at the end, to be honest. So yeah, that's looking good. Then I'm going to take, so I need a little scrap of white to cut out my lapels. So let's grab them again. Collars, I should say, not lapels. So the two pieces that I cut out for the handkerchief, they're going to go back in on a bit of white card. And, oh, hold on. Come here, a bit of white card. And I'm also, that's all I need, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off there. And then from my dark blue, I'm going to cut some blue buttons. So I'm going to pop them on and then just trim that bit. So I don't need masses there. So let's just pop those two in. And then we can put this card all together, which I think is really quite a nice card myself, I reckon. Hi Marion, nice to see you there. Hi Helen, oh, I'm glad you like it. I also saw Dawn, so hi Dawn, who has clearly only just got up, but she does live like 8 hours behind us, I think it is, or something horrendous like that in Canada. So hi to her as well. Nice that you could get up to see us. Oh, you like my nails, Julie? Thank you. They're looking a bit worse for wear. I've chipped one. Can you believe it? Do you know how I chipped it? It was all that hard work we had yesterday. We had an in-person, real people, it's all real people, workshop near Chichester, near me. And we worked hard. We had a fantastic day sorting out all sorts of different fun techniques, working with a glimmer machine, which very few had done. So that was fun. And yeah, we had some really good things going on. Okay, have I got everything? I'm just going to poke these out so that they're sitting on the side. So the 3 little buttons. When I finish with them in a second, I'll show you them. There was a huge amount of detail on them. So let's put that over there and that over there. And let's make up my card. So as I said, the pocket. Now my 2 pieces of my suit are going to stick on the 2 sort of bands here, but nothing in the middle, because this is my pocket, don't forget. So they have been designed that at 6 1/4, they will fit edge to edge on the front of my band there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue along this bit here and along there and stick one in first. So I'm going to make sure that the edges at the top and the side and the bottom are all along these 3 edges as well. So they will fit tight up to those edges and just on those edges. So I've put the glue onto this bit rather than onto the card, onto the suit front that I'm going to do, because I don't want to risk getting glue in that centerpiece. So then I've stuck that side. I'm then going to go in for this side. And I will stick this on the other bit there. So we have then got our suit, which is now made into the sort of pocket there, you can see. So if we put our embellishments on the side of our suit, it will look pretty good. So I'm putting a bit of glue there. I'm not sure if I want to do this, but I've done it now. In terms of, I've put glue either side of it. Now on the packet, it gives you the pocket down here and suggests you then cut off the extra. I didn't really want to do that. So I'm going to put my pocket along there. And I've put glue on those edges because I did want it to stay sticking down a little bit. You can see that. Then we've got a little breast pocket with our couple of kerchief on there, which goes along there. Okay, I feel like you should have like a red rose or something on there, don't you? So this is my card that's going to go in the middle, which was a piece of white card, which I cut down to 6 inches by 8 inches. And then along the 8-inch line, scored it at 4 so that it's in half. I wanted to do that myself rather than risk getting a piece, a standard card that was already cut and folded. I just wanted to make sure that those measurements were spot on, because what we want to do is then pop this into our card like that. And you never know, we didn't want it to be that the card was then too wide in order to go in here. Now, remember me saying about let's do it so that we've put the side folds down and then we flapped up the bit at the bottom? Remember me saying that? Or have you nodded off since? Hopefully you do remember, because if you do it that way, when you pop your card inside, it won't have anything to catch on. Because if you did it the other way round, that your 2 side pieces were stuck on top of that bit at the bottom, you've then got that bit at the bottom that this could easily catch on when you're putting it in and out. Yeah, hope you understand what I mean by that. So that way it can go right down to the bottom. Now, whilst it's actually in the card, I want to be positioning my 2 collars. Now, I always have to think about this, so bear with me, because, yeah, that's what I have to do. I have to get that shortest edge, the shortest of all the edges, has to be the edge that goes on the top. I've got some sticky on there, I have to get rid of that, on the level with your card. Okay, one faces one way, one faces the other. So the shortest edge, so you've got a longer one, next size, you've got a curved one, not that one. The shortest straight edge goes parallel to the top of your piece of card. Oh, hold on, this one's got some sticky on. Let me grab something in order to get rid of the sticky. Whoops, because we don't want that, because it's sticking on my fingers. That's better. So short edge parallel with that, so that we can then pop them edge to edge. I want it to be edge to edge so that when it's closed, it looks like that. I also want a little bit of foam on the back, just to give a little bit of, you know, je ne sais quoi. Yeah, you get French lessons here as well. I don't know. It's just good, isn't it? It's just good. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a busy, busy weekend. Straight edge along the straight edge here. So, oh, that wants to stay stuck. So straight edge along the straight edge, and straight edge along the straight edge, like that. And I think that by putting a little bit of foam there, that makes it stand out just that little bit more. So then when I've got that into position, I can then take that card out. Okay. Now at this stage, if you wanted to put I put a stamp on. So I'm going to do a happy birthday here. I am quite happy, she says, hopefully. Well, I was quite happy to try and do this freehand. But if you want to do it not freehand, you might want to put the card base in your embossing, your stamping platform before you place these, because they might throw it out a little bit. Just practice with the tie. The tie is going to go like that, and then you've got the tie knot, and that's going to go do you know what? I don't know whether I've got that on the right way around or not. Let's have a look what they show. No, they've got it round the other way. And I better do it as it is the packet. So that is going to go in there like that, which then determines where my happy birthday can go, which is about there. I'm going to stamp it in Versamine Versamine. Oh, good blimey. It's not Versamine, it's Versafine. Versafine Morning Mist. Versamine was a combination of Versafine and Morning Mist, trying to get it all out in one, failed miserably. So we have got Versafine Claire Morning Mist, which is a greyish tint, okay, because that's what I want to put down, and I don't want I'm going to put this on first. I didn't want my you know, I don't want it in your face. They've got no black on it, so I don't want a really loud colour. Blues can be iffy. I didn't want to have an iffy, because you don't, do you? Don't want a bit of iffy. I'm going to put my knot on first. Again, if you were doing this on a stamping platform, you would have stamped it all first. But, oh, bash my head then. Pop my little knot into place, and then turn this over. That's where you can see what that was the grey linen suit that I did earlier. Turn that over, pop that underneath there. Gosh, wouldn't we be proud if our men were wearing as clean a white shirt as that, eh? I would have been when the kids were at school. I don't know that I ever had a particularly white shirt for them. That's bothering me that that's not quite straight. Should have had one. Here we go. Sorry, move my arm. I want one that's going to be straight. So I've got one here, which have got the lines on, and then I can know it's straight, can't I? Well, ish. Right, so I'm going to stamp that up. So the stamps that I've got here are from the set for the vintage cars that I was using on Wednesday, but I'm sure you've got lots of sentiments, lots of both stamps or, can't talk whilst I'm doing that, stamps or dies that would fit the bill with this. Happy birthday. I reckon, I don't know about you, but I reckon that that's pretty nice. So there's your lovely pocket. I think that card looks nice on its own anyway, to be honest. If you were doing that type of thing, you could even make wedding invitations. You could do half of this as the man's side. I'm not sure that you've got anything that's particularly lacy, but you could get a piece which is lacy and do that as if that's the bride's side, and make that into a gatefold card, or make it into the pocket, and then this is your actual wedding invitation, so it says you're invited, that type of thing. But as I said, more importantly, ideal for putting money in. So I hope you like that, because I do like that. I think that these suits suit you, sir, they used to say, didn't they? I just think that they just look ideal for lots of people. You could emboss the shirt. Yeah, you could emboss the shirt. Thanks, Carol. Good idea. Have to be a small pattern, but it would look quite nice to have an embossed shirt. It would look quite different. Let me just quickly show you, if I may. Have you got, oh, I've been going on a bit, haven't I? Can I quickly show you the jumper? Would you mind? Bear with me, and I'll very quickly show you the jumper. I was just going to grab this. Just wanted to show you how to do the jumper. So I'm going to go for, there was a greeny colour. Now, I know that the greeny colour isn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but the greeny colour just really shows this well. Can you see that it's sort of like knitted? Looks quite good. There is a special way on all of these, so we're going to go for that. And I'm going to cut out, first of all, my 6x4. This time I'm going to do 6x4. You can make it wider, so you could make it for a fatter person. So 6x4, 4x6. I'm also going to use this piece, this spare piece, and at the same time as cutting out everything else, I'm just going to cut these 2 strips that represent the cardigan bit, which are these 2 strips here, because I just want to show you how that should go. So I'm just going to pop them onto there, put them into place for that one, and then this one is going to be cut like the suit was. So again, popping that so that it's in the middle of the card. Whoops. With those 2 angular pieces at the top, like that. We won't have time to make it into a card, but I'll just show you how you put it together. So turn that over and turn that over. Then I'm going to run them through. Oh, I forgot the buttons, didn't I? I'll do the buttons, June. Yeah. I'll do the buttons. I've hid them, haven't I? Hid them. Hold on. I'll go back to buttons. Do not worry. So we have ended up, let's come away from it, with a 2 knitted pieces on the side there. And the same type of thing for the front piece. So I'm just going to take off that, pop that to one side. We don't want those pieces, and neither do we want these pieces that were the lapels for our actual suit. So I'm going to chop them off, and just flicking it so I can see it, chop those off. So this time I don't need them because we're not going to have a jumper with a lapel, are we? But we are going to have these, and simply we pop these. If you look at the detail, you can see that they are ribbed. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to pop a little bit of glue all the way down along this edge, and then place this, start off with the smaller bit because it goes up straight to the corner and then right to the edge there. Do you know, you would have thought that that was made for it, wouldn't you, eh? Just hold it on. And then exactly the same on here. Whoops, bit of glue running all the way down there, down to there. And then start at the bottom so that the very bottom of your strip here touches the bottom of your jumper, and then allow that to fit. And then, now we're pretending, we're imagining now. Can you imagine with me? Imagine that those bits aren't there. Let's hope that I've given myself enough, but let's just take them off. that when we put that piece on there, you could, if you wanted it all to be green, chop that off. Now, I don't need the whole length of this, so I'm just going to chop it off there because I'm doing this one in a completely different way. So all I need to make sure is that my 2 pieces fit there and my jumper is at the top. I could cut another piece of this and do like a little scooped neck or something like that, and then I would put that perhaps straight onto there with my buttons and all bits and pieces. And this time, so I've gone for greens all the way. This time I've gone for a nice cozy jumper, maybe for an older person, I don't know, but a happy Father's Day or something like that. And you'd put your collar on and all this, but we mustn't forget those little buttons, had we? Otherwise you won't be able to undo it, would you? But I just wanted to show you how you make that into the jumper there. So let's go for the buttons to be 1, 2, 3. There you are, little buttons, sitting there waiting patiently. And it's a good job that Auntie June saw that they were sneaking and still not there, because my poor suit would not have been able to be undone. There is a right and a wrong way, which is why I'm being fussy. That's better. Is that all right now, June? There you go. That's better. We need to be dressed properly, do we not? So it doesn't make any difference to our taking it in and out, but it just makes it a really fun type of fold, doesn't it? As I said, not my idea at all. Saw it being demoed for making just these cards, and I've just changed the measurements very, very slightly and just made it my own, really. But I do love the idea for that pocket. When I saw that, I thought, do you know what? I like that a lot. And I hope you do too. They are over on the website. They are a limited bit because of the stock that the that Hunky Dory have with them now, I'm afraid. And they are a considered purchase in as much as you are getting an 11-piece die set and the 48-piece paper pad that goes with it as well. But I think that it would allow you to do quite a lot of cards perfectly for those men, those pesky men. No, they're not really, those men. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, especially if you're still here from the beginning, because that's a bit longer than I normally go on. I will be back on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you all then. And yeah, have a good one. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. See you soon. Bye.